We're bringing in the
Oh no.
DSM5
Oh
memes.
no no.
There's so much loaded into this. Like, duh, unnecessary. Nowhere in here does it say anything about gender affirming shit. So yeah, they're just lying. They're just saying this in the video. Or they're getting like, you know, testicles stapled to their butthole. This is not happening.
Trend.
Oh, they did
Oh
it!
my God.
They did the TransTrender meme! Ah! It's so stupid and dishonest. Okay, let me know if you can hear it.
If you know any middle or high school girls today,
Can you
Yes.
hear? Okay, good. All right.
or if you are one yourself, it would not be surprising if you know someone who identifies as transgender. The latest statistics indicate that 2% of American high school students now identify as transgender, and
More. We need more.
the overwhelming majority of them are teenage girls.
I wonder. You have to wonder. Okay, hang
Between
on.
2016 and 2017 alone,
I'm still wondering about this quadrupled thing.
the number of females seeking gender surgery in America quadrupled. But if you
Like, because it's just so vague that it's essentially meaningless. But everybody watching this video is going to walk away from it and just be like, yep, there's like 4 times as many women are having penises now. They're getting their boobs chopped off. And it's just like, ugh.
If you graduated high school over a decade ago, it was unlikely that you knew anyone who was transgender.
I wonder if that had anything to do with social pressures that prevented people from exploring gender identity. If like, because over 10 years ago when I was in school, the thing that everybody was exploring was bisexual and like gay. And like people were just like, you know what,
Yeah.
I might be bisexual. But like there's people now that like right now the sentiment is you know, you try different flavors of ice cream. You don't try dick. And like there are people who act like if you look, yeah, if you've seen a cock and licked your lips at the same time, then you're fucking gay. Period. For life. And like you're branded with it. And it's just such a simplistic, stupid way of looking at the world. And you know,
What's funny about what's funny about this the whole like quadruple thing is that you can see like from a mile away like okay, was there a problem, you know, with it quadrupling? Like, is that a problem, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly. Because you're gonna have that issue. I mean, if it's like if I were to tell you the number of people that eat ice cream has quadrupled in the last 2 years alone, you have to sit there and go, okay, well, it's not a problem to eat ice cream. I am not concerned with 4 times as many people eating ice cream, you know? I like it.
4 times the detail. 4 times the
Yeah.
detail.
4 times the detail. The map is 4 times this. Yeah, I got you. Nice meme. Oh man, if I don't know, if we understand something to be more socially acceptable, then it is necessarily going to appear to rise in number. So like when the gays TM were the main conversation like 30 years ago, it was rare. I mean, I thought it was like rare to run into a gay person, like more than 10 years ago. Like 10 years ago, it was just like, oh, you know, and most people were like trying to hide it and stuff like that. You knew, but you know, they were trying to hide it or something like that because they didn't want to be, you know, perceived as openly gay, which was like a bad person thing. And as it became more and more socially acceptable, you have more and more people be openly gay, but that doesn't mean that we're having more gay people. Like it's not turning people gay. There's just more people that are comfortable with being openly gay. Does that make sense? Of course,
Yeah.
it makes sense to
Like,
you.
well, yeah, and you also have, you know, the chemicals being put in the water, you know, it turns people
That's
gay,
yes,
obviously.
exactly. Yes, nice meme. All right.
Because, according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders,
We're bringing in the DSM5 memes.
Oh, no, 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 no,
The
no,
DSM5 memes, boys. Oh my God, what a fucking idiot. I am almost.
You see mental disorder, you're like, oh no, oh no.
I am almost 100% certain that gender nonconforming in and of itself is not a mental disorder, and it's been removed from the DSM-5. I'm pretty sure.
The condition underlying it
I
afflicted
think it's
roughly
been
1 in
removed, I'm not
10,000.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said I think it's been removed. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure. The condition underlying it afflicted roughly 1 in 10,000 people.
Or 0.01% of the population. Almost none of these cases were teenage girls.
I wonder why. I wonder, honestly, okay. I wonder if this has anything to do with the fact that little girls are pretty liberated. Like, girls can do whatever the fuck they want. If a girl wants to go work on trucks and, like, be a mechanic, or if she wants to, I don't know, fucking blow shit up, shoot guns, yada yada, then everybody around her is like, cool, like, this girl's one of the boys, she's cool, and all this other shit. And then, but if boys, if I want a doll, then it's a fucking problem. Then it's an issue. Then it's something that needs to be diagnosed, and it needs to be medicated away or treated or something like that. And so it makes sense that boys that do girly things, well, then this is a fucking issue, and we need to get this motherfucker to a psychiatrist so he can be, you know, evaluated, and we can correct this immediately, or we can understand what's wrong with this guy. But girls
what might
are
that
not
correction
the case.
entail? We're not going to tell you.
Yeah, of course. But like the girls, but girls can do whatever the fuck they want. Even teenage girls, whatever. It's cool for them to play video games and turn wrenches under the hood of a car, or shoot guns, or do all of these stereotypically boy things. It's cool, and nobody cares. And so it would make sense that once you've brought being transgender, like, once there's a kind of acceptance for it, maybe these girls sit around and think, maybe I'm not a tomboy, maybe I don't just like doing girly things, maybe I am actually a boy, maybe I am, you know, and that kind of thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's good. I think that's cool.
No, yeah, I don't care. Like, I think it's just I would just tell people, like, why would you care? Like, why should you care?
Yeah, pretty much.
In fact, before 2012, there was no scientific or medical literature discussing adolescent girls who wanted to transition to the opposite sex.
No way.
No.
There was nothing saying that this did exist. There was, so, you know, people, instead of, like, I don't know, updating their understanding of the reality around them as it becomes, you know, known, then we don't update our understanding of things. Like, whenever somebody said, yeah, we live in a heliocentric model for the planets and shit like that, then, you know, we didn't update. Did you know that prior to I don't know, 100 BC, there was no mention of the heliocentric model?
I'm like, even then, like, you can find, like, historical, like, you know, records and proof of, like, you know, history of, you know, prominent trans people, like, what, in the 1600s?
Yeah, trans people, but they're saying that discussing adolescent girls who wanted to transition to the opposite sex before 2012. And I assume that this is in reference to the DSM-5, in that in the DSM they said that males who want to be women have some kind of mental illness or whatever, and they go on about that. And that in and of itself is the mental illness. And so it's... and so it's just strange to me that for this very specific subject, then a lack of research in that area completely means that it was just made up, and that we're not allowed to be like to change our understanding as research develops.
Remember, we have to use the word scientific. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we didn't know about transgender individuals. Gender dysphoria.
Okay, cool. Wait, hold on. Is PragerU pulling a based? Are they saying that, yeah, transgenders are valid? Like that, yeah, I mean, based, right? But being transgender doesn't necessarily mean you have gender dysphoria. I don't think that that's necessary. I don't know if it's true, or I'm pretty sure that that's not true.
Well, like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, dysphoria, like, if you have gender dysphoria, like, is it like you're not like concrete sure of what your gender is, and you have a problem like struggling with what you want to be? Is that what that is?
I'm pretty sure gender dysphoria is when you perceive yourself to be a gender that society is ascribing to you, or ascribing, whatever, that society is treating you in such a way that you don't feel the gender. Oh, fuck, I can't explain it, dude. Jesus Christ, I'm.
Let me look it up.
Gender dysphoria. Christ, I wonder if this is even okay. It's showing gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is the feeling of discomfort or distress that might occur in people who... Okay, discomfort or distress. I think that's the important... That is okay. I have heard it explained. That is the... Wait. Minty Root in chat says gender dysphoria is mostly about discomfort. Oh, see? I can glean meanings from words. Ugh, great. So you can think you're a man, but not really be bothered by the body you have. Okay, cool. So being transgender, being transgender does not require gender dysphoria, as this is appearing to imply. So, continue.
The severe discomfort in one's biological sex has been studied for nearly 100 years.
The severe discomfort in one's biological sex. So it's really interesting that they would conflate gender and sex. I say it's interesting. Like, that's not what they do fucking constantly. But, yeah, they're saying gender dysphoria, the severe discomfort into one's biological sex, which is a conflict. These two terms are not perfectly synonymous. And that is, it's so stupid that people don't understand that. No offense to Tornado Man, who may or may not be listening right now.
It almost always involved boys who began feeling it between the ages of 2 and 4.
It almost always involved boys, but now that we are doing more research and we are have a broader understanding of this subject, and that we are now allowed, I don't know, it's so fucking stupid, dude. It's so stupid. So it's something that they've understood, but now it's a problem because girls are doing it. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, why is it that every single PragerU video boils down to, we don't want women to do fucking anything. We want women to be under the thumb of men, period. We don't want to have any kind of, like, agency or whatever. They need to be barefoot, they need to be pregnant, and they need to be in the fucking home, right? It's, like, every single PragerU video boils down to that shit, it seems like. And then it also boils down to, black people bad, and a couple of other stupid ass things, but, like, this is,
everything I don't like is socialism.
Yeah, true. When the government does stuff, it's socialism.
Socialism. Communism.
I love it.
And were strong and persistent in their assertions to everyone around them that they were really girls. When a phenomenon that affects one half of a population, boys, suddenly begins affecting
one half of the population.
Oh my God.
Boys! That's funny as fuck.
Boys.
the other half,
Boys.
girls. And when its age of onset shifts from preschool to adolescence, something significant is happening.
No, it's not.
Something significant is happening. I wonder what that could be.
Like, there's the significant. Okay, it's as if you were to say society now accepts women in the workplace, and since society has been more accepting of women in the workplace, you are finding more women in the workplace. And now you're looking in places where women weren't before, and now they're there. So something significant is happening, which is just a meaningless phrase in and of itself. It doesn't say anything. Minty Root in chat says, Dennis Prager made a whole video about wanting people to wish him a Merry Christmas in stores, but he said it is said in the same video he doesn't celebrate it. Yeah, Dennis Prager is a dumb fuck for sure.
Oh, he's the ultimate neocon. Like, oh my god.
In 2016, Brown University public health researcher Lisa Littman.
No, we are not doing this. We are not literally doing the rapid onset gender dysphoria people. We are not literally doing. Is that the same person? I'm gonna look it up. It was Lisa Littman. Oh, I had Googled it before. I knew it. I knew I had Googled it before. Fucking Brown statements on gender yes, dude, this study is such fucking bullshit. The whole study that they're fixing to cite, this entire thing, is absolute, just laughably fucking stupid.
Began studying.
I'm not aware of what what does the study say? Like, what are they trying to say here?
Here's the thing. Okay, well, they're gonna. I assume they're gonna explain it, but it's all ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Yeah. That's the word I was going to say, but I stuttered.
The sudden spike in trans identification.
Began studying the sudden spike in trans identification. And here's the thing, is that they didn't, the Lisa Littman person didn't observe they did a study online, okay? It was on the internet, first of all, and it allowed anybody to enter into the study, anybody that said, yes, I have a trans child, I would like to participate in this study. No verification, nothing or whatever. They just said it. And then this study was performed on websites like TransTrenders.com and shit like that. Like, clearly, they gathered people from biased sources and then allowed them to and it polled the parents, not the children, and they it's just a laughably stupid fucking study. It's just the dumbest shit.
Of teenage girls. She concluded that peer influence and social media influence had a lot to do with this trans teen phenomenon.
Oh my God! Yeah, they're saying it, but they're framing it as if this study wasn't like, what's it called? Wasn't fucking, not debunked, bullshit. But it literally in that article that I looked up over here, Brown statements on gender dysphoria study updated, and it says the academic journal PLOS 1 on March 19th published a revised version of study on rapid onset gender dysphoria, and they updated it to something like parents report of adolescents and young adults perceived to show signs of rapid whatever, blah 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 blah. Like, it's just hilariously bad. Like, it's so fucking stupid. Oh man, it's so it's so bad. It's just so bad. Okay, continue.
Phenomenon. After all, based on parent reports, none of these girls had exhibited symptoms of gender dysphoria.
Okay, based on parents' reports. Okay, and they're I think they're taking it from one side. I don't know. Okay.
At the age that it typically first presents, early childhood.
Okay, so once again, if the parents aren't noticing something, because like a 2 to 4 year old is going to say like, I am a girl or something like that, and you're going to notice something or whatever. But like in today's society, whenever you have, like, because they were talking about like 100 years ago or some shit like that, but in today, you're supposed to keep it quiet or whatever, and none of these girls had exhibited the symptoms of gender dysphoria according to the parents, who were gathered from biased sources. So like, these people are already probably transphobic at the very least, right? You know?
Oh yeah.
So they're on these websites like Fourth Wave Feminism Now or some shit like that, where they're clearly
TransTrender.com.
Yeah, or TransTrender.com or whatever. Clearly TERF sources, 1,000,000%. And so, yeah, they're going to say, nope, no signs of gender dysphoria here. That's how women talk, by the way. I know I've talked to a women before, but they say
I'm in Missouri, so I would know.
so they say, no signs of gender dysphoria here. My little girl is just a tomboy or something. There's nothing boy about that or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's just so stupid, and they're gonna run with this. They're just gonna keep running with it. I'm speeding it up.
It would not be surprised.
Oh my god.
YouTube, Reddit, Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram all
Okay, here comes the big tech dog whistles. It's big tech. They're putting chemicals in the Instagram that's making your kids trans.
host popular social media influencers, today's version of Hollywood stars, who insist that if you feel uncomfortable in your body, you're probably trans.
I'll get the fuck out of here. Nobody's saying that. If you're uncomfortable in your own body, nobody is saying, hey, maybe you're trans. Like, I feel like the majority of people say, like, address the discomforts in and of themselves. Like, if I'm like, oh man, I'm over 200 pounds and I really don't like being over 200 pounds. Nobody's going to go, well, you're probably trans. Like, that's so stupid.
It's like, it's like if you're having, like, if you're questioning your identity, like, you could very easily, like, come to the conclusion that, well no, like, the way I am is the way I am, and I'm just going to keep, I'm going to keep going with it. Like, that doesn't, who's saying you're probably trans? Like, who the hell is saying that?
Right. I don't think so. I think that they're just, I don't know, they're trying to say that, and even then, being trans doesn't necessarily mean you have to be uncomfortable in your body. It means that you're not, it's gender, transgender, right? So you're not, you don't feel like, you don't feel any compulsion to adhere to social cues, or not social cues, when it comes to, like, the social expectations of the gender that you were assigned at birth. Like, that's the whole thing. So it has nothing to do with your body, right? Not necessarily. Ugh.
Many promise that if you start a course of testosterone, all of your problems will go away.
Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. Nobody is saying that. No one. Not a single person.
Are they pulling the, like, if you're trans, like, if you want to, like, go be from, like, a girl to a boy, like, all you have to do is inject yourself with testosterone. Is that what they're doing? Because I can barely hear it.
Oh, you need it up?
No, I'm on mobile, like, and
okay.
I'm having a little bit of trouble. But are they pulling that card?
I don't know what they're fucking doing. This is so incomprehensibly fucking stupid. I'm just going to keep going.
There's every reason to believe that these girls are experiencing real psychological pain. Rates of anxiety, depression, and instances of self-harm are all at record levels for this generation.
Damn.
Okay,
it's almost like we should fucking take it seriously.
I mean, like while, the trans people, like, they typically, at least from what I've observed, like, have those issues. But what they're trying to do here is they're saying, like, well, because a lot of them have these issues, they must be mentally ill. Like, there's a connection there.
Right. I see that. I see what you're saying. And
yeah, that's what they're doing.
The problem with this is that I wonder if anxiety, depression, and self-harm are a product of mental illness, or is it because they're like, I kind of feel like I'm a man. And then this bitch over here, I'm such a misogynist, my bad. So then this person, this woman over here goes, no, you're not actually a man. And you're going to be barefoot and pregnant. You're going to serve a man. You are going to pop out babies, or you are useless to society. And then this, so anxiety, depression, self-harm are the logical conclusions of a society that treats you that way when you feel like you're actually a man, and you're like, I just don't feel a compulsion to conform to all of these expectations that were assigned to me when I was born.
Yeah, and they're trying to pull the thing here is like, see, like, you suffer. They typically suffer from these things, so therefore they're mentally ill.
Yeah, which is bullshit. Correlation, causation, that kind of shit, I guess.
Yeah.
Alrighty, more.
Generation.
More.
A quick fix becomes very tempting. So it doesn't take much. A YouTube video, a friend's suggestion, To get a trouble.
No. We're doing some chicken or the egg shit right here. We're putting the cart before the horse. They're saying that they have anxiety, depression, and all that shit and whatever. So they're saying that everyone has anxiety, depression, and self-harm, whatever. That it's all on the rise, and it's because, and so their answer is being trans. Why are things the way they are?
I love how like they put like some guy like behind that person like with earrings and like light blue hair. Like I love that they're trying to go for that. You know, that's
I'm sorry, Minty Root just said something funny in chat. Quote, why are things the way they are? Quoted by the people who made the things the way they are. That's some funny shit right there. Okay, so this I get what you're saying. They're saying that this stereotypical SJW figure comes in behind this purple person and is just like,
yes.
You are a boy. Take testosterone. Or some
you're
dumb
now
shit.
trans. I turned you trans.
You are trans.
Old girl to buy into the fantasy that gender transition is the answer.
Okay, now I just love how they say shit like this, where they're saying the fantasy of gender transition is the answer to anxiety and depression. Gender transition is a fantasy. As a solution to depression, like they know what they're fucking doing, okay? They know what people are gonna hear whenever they see this shit.
Oh my god.
It's so fucking dumb. All right.
Unfortunately for these girls who do not have typical gender dysphoria, gender transition.
How do you know? How do you know?
Offers relief? What the fuck?
They said that these girls do not have typical gender dysphoria. Like, how do you know? How do you know? According to this video, there wasn't any research on it prior to 2012. So how the fuck do you know? Like, Jesus.
Like here's the thing. Like, I know, like, you see where like what they're trying to go with this, but it's like those people that like they transition and they're still like. They're trying to say that those people are still not comfortable with themselves. I'm like, no, they're uncomfortable because, you know, there's a large part of the population that fucking hate them.
Yes, that's another huge thing that they're missing here. That we still have over 3 minutes of video to go, but like I doubt very seriously that they're going to get into the social realm of this. They're not going to discuss how if you decide to do a gender transition, if you decide or not decide, I guess, if that's right for you and you are taking that, and if you decide to take that path, then the metric fuck ton of people that will tell you that you're just straight up wrong. And that you don't exist, and that you are mentally ill, and that people are filling you with fantasy or whatever the fuck, or playing into your delusions is a really popular one. The people that say that shit, like, it makes sense that, well, then no, it doesn't offer relief. It's so fucking dumb, dude.
Oh,
Barely offers relief. And it's a catastrophic mistake for psychologists, educators, and the medical establishment.
Oh my god.
They're literally gonna do the fucking like scientific anti-realism. They're just gonna straight up say, just be like, the medical elites, the ones who have studied this their whole lives, don't trust science, don't trust studies. By the way, trust this one study by Lisa whatever the fuck at whatever about this rapid onset gender dysphoria shit. Believe that, but don't believe the elites. The fucking, the establishment is coming for your girls or some shit. Dude, that is so fucking dumb.
To rush these teens towards a solution that will almost certainly harm rather than heal. Because here's...
Oh my god. Oh my...
Oh, we're laughing at PragerU stuff?
Yeah, we're watching PragerU.
Yeah, so we're watching the one that they recently put out like on trans people, and it's so bad.
It's 4 days old. It's 4 days old, and it's dumb as fuck.
Well, I mean, it's PragerU.
Yeah. I know. I didn't expect. I came in expecting less, and still, I'm still disappointed, or something. I don't know.
I expected nothing, and I'm still disappointed.
That's it. That's the saying. Okay, continue.
Here's what's not in dispute. Unnecessary.
It says, "Here's what's not in dispute." Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can dispute this.
Unnecessary medical gender transition causes irreversible damage.
Irreversible damage.
That's a lot of damage.
That's that's a bit of a loaded term now, isn't it? Like unnecessary. There's so much loaded into this. Like unnecessary, right? Of course, an unnecessary appendectomy causes irreversible damage. An unnecessary fucking filling at the dentist office causes irreversible damage. Like, unnecessary. They load everything like this as if I'm supposed to just go, yep, absolutely. That is not up for dispute. Like, of course. I'm going to say, listen, it is unnecessary. This is beyond dispute. It is unnecessary to take shits in your pants. And it's like, cool.
This is not up for debate.
It's like, neat. That doesn't mean anything. Oh my God. Unnecessary medical gender transition it's just, I don't know. I'm triggered as fuck at this sentence. There's a period there. So let's see what they say.
High risk of infertility, sexual.
No shit. No fucking
high
shit.
High risk of infertility. I wonder what kind of arguments they're making here. You know, it's
unnecessary
medical. Isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so when they're talking, I assume when they're talking about medical gender transition, like it's so vague because medical gender transition doesn't fucking mean anything. That could be puberty blockers. That could be hormones. That could be like SRS. That could be laser hair removal. Like, there's so much that goes into gender affirming surgeries or procedures. It's not literally just one thing. This whole card,
dysfunction,
this
and the
whole
creation
thing
of a
is
permanent
fucking meaningless. The creation of a permanent medical patient.
Like what I'm looking at here, like high risk of infertility and sexual dysfunction. I'm like, you're saying that like what you want, like you're basically saying like, no, we want you to have babies. We want you to have babies.
Actually, if you go to work at the South Pole as a researcher, you need to get your appendix removed because of a doctor who got appendicitis on base and had to take it out himself because he was the only doctor at the base. I remember hearing about that, and it was pretty fucking brutal. And there was a guy that would, I can't remember, there was one doctor that liked to do his own surgeries just like as a thing, as like a stunt or a feat or whatever. And I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. But at any rate, I know that that's kind of like an aside, maybe like a cool point, but that I'm not sure if that really... whatever. But anyway, high risk of infertility, sexual dysfunction, and the creation of a permanent medical patient. That right there, I feel like is a dog whistle to like big pharma or some shit like that. When like half the people that watch this shit and eat it up are taking like 12 pills a day already. Okay? So the creation of a permanent medical patient, like get the fuck out of here. How are they're loading this so much and saying this is irrefutable? It's so dumb. All right. Oh my God.
Tragically, we've made it far too easy for kids to take this path, long before they're ready psychologically or emotionally to make such a life-altering decision.
Are you sure about that? That's the John Cena meme, right? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Testosterone is easily obtained by today's teens.
Okay.
In Oregon, a 15-year-old can walk into a gender clinic.
I don't know if any of this is true. So far, they have lied so blatantly about like the Brown study and the Lisa Littman person, and they've like they're loading so much shit. Oh my God.
Gender clinics all over the country.
Yes, there are now gender clinics all over the country. Like
Like, okay, and
yes, exactly.
Is there an issue?
They're presenting these things like it's bad, and I'm just
Like-
not sure how
like
I'm
the
supposed to
trans
believe.
people are taking over the country. Like,
They're breaking the conditioning.
Fucking
They're
base.
breaking the condition.
Out the same day
See,
with a
your
prescription for
boyfriend is taking
testosterone
over the country,
without
Baiju.
her parents' permission.
I mean, I don't have anything against that.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true, and I don't know. I almost want to look it up, but I don't think that's true.
They do have so here's the thing, like PragerU, the sources that they quote cite, they're usually like in a link in the description. Like you can follow their link.
What? They have links in the description now?
I think so. Like they have links to their site that has the
To
list of sources that
view
they're using.
The script, sources, and quiz? I'm not going to PragerU.com. I don't want to get my fucking computer AIDS. Oh my god.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to go to their site to see what sources they use. And like instead of putting the sources in the video itself.
Oh my god, it's just gonna play the video over again. Oh my god. Facts and sources. There it is. The number of teen girls identifying as transgender has skyrocketed over the last decade. The new statistics indicate that 2% of American high school students are not transgender, and overwhelming majority of teenage girls. View source. This isn't really a thing. I don't really care. I believe that. I just don't think it's a problem. Between 2016 and 2017, quadrupled. Body contouring after massive weight loss. Gender confirmation surgery statistics. Female to male patients would be... What is this? Plasticsurgery.org. Gender confirmation surgery statistics. So this could be, like I said, this could be anything. This could be somebody getting like their face masculinized or whatever the fuck. That they present it in such a way that they believe that they're like, more women are getting their fucking vaginas turned inside out and made into really floppy penises or some shit.
It's almost like they're framing it as that way. Like every like man to girl, like all of them are getting the same surgery. All of them are getting their dicks chopped off. They're
yeah. Where the fuck is this? In Oregon, a 15-year-old. Healthy people, families, minor rights, access, and consent to healthcare, a resource for providers, parents, and educators. This resource is intended to provide basic information about a minor's ability to consent to healthcare services, as well as now... I can't read. As well as how healthcare information is treated in Oregon. It is not intended to be a legal document or substitute for legal advice or direction on a specific client or healthcare provider. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Let's see here. The dilemma, the process to... Oh my god, I don't have to read all of this fucking shit. Under Oregon law, anyone under the age of 18 is considered a minor. However, if a minor has been formally emancipated by the courts, some laws pertaining to minors are waived. In general, a minor's age determines whether he or she is able to access healthcare services independently or if parental or guardian consent is required. Additionally, some services that minor can access independently can be kept confidential while other cannot. Okay. So they're saying minors who are 15 years or older are minors who are 15 years or older are able to consent to medical and dental services without parental consent. This includes hospital care, as well as medical, dental, optometric, and surgical diagnostic care. This would include services such as treatment for illnesses or injuries, sports or camp physicals, dental visits, x-rays, emergency room visits, immunization or vision care, and immunizations.
Wait.
Okay.
So the point in the video, like, are they saying that they're doing like these surgeries without the parents' consent or without the person's consent?
No, they're saying that a person can walk into a gender clinic and be prescribed testosterone without the parents' consent. But that didn't seem to be minors who are 15 or older are able to consent to medical and dental services without parental consent. And it has a list of things. A minor who is 14 years or older may access outpatient mental health, drug, or alcohol treatment without parental consent. These services include seeking help from a psychiatrist, seeking mental health therapy, seeking help for... Okay, cool. Providers are expected to involve parents by the end of the minor's mental health or drug or alcohol and treatment, unless the parents refuses involvement, blah, 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 blah. None of this has anything to do with testosterone. I haven't seen anything like that.
Like Control F, testosterone, I guess?
That's a good idea. Testing.
Testes.
Yeah. Fuck me, dude. I'm so... I need a smoke. I'm fucking flipping. Who is considered a minor, and why does this matter? Under Oregon law, anyone other... Yeah, I've read this one. It didn't say anything about that. Consent is is acknowledgement, usually in writing. Any of the following. The patient understands the treatment he received, blah, 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 blah. All consent should be informed consent, blah, 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 blah. May request certain levels... Yes, minors may request certain levels of confidentiality. And then it has a list. Treatment for illnesses or injuries, sports or camp physicals, dental visits, x-rays, emergency room visits, vision care, and immunizations. Nowhere in here does it say anything about gender-affirming shit. Okay? So, I'm pretty much done going through this shit right here. I'm just assuming that they're fucking lying. Because... They're just lying, because this is the list of things that someone who is 15 years or older can request confidentiality to do without parental consent, and nothing in there says that that you can walk in there and just be like, I want testosterone.
And this is what they cite for the Oregon thing.
Yeah, this is from the Prager source. Okay.
What the fuck?
So, yeah, they're just lying. They're just saying this in the video.
16-year-old girls have been able to undergo double mastectomies, the removal of both breasts, without even a therapist's note.
Okay. Sometimes you don't need a therapist's note to get a double mastectomy. Sometimes you got a little bit of cancer, okay? Sometimes you got a little bit of I don't know, maybe you have the markers that they're gonna whatever it's called. You got the markers that show that you might develop breast cancer later, and so some people get proactive with it and go, fuck them, get them babies off of my chest, right? Some people do that. You don't need a therapist's note for that. You need a medical doctor to approve of that. And they not even a therapist's note. Are they saying
predictably?
Okay, they didn't say anything about parents' permission, but the juxtaposition of those two things, the lie, talking about how they can just grab up testosterone and just be like, I'm going to grow a fucking penis at home. Chia penis, right? Like, that they're just going to take all that shit and then they're going to juxtapose this with the double mastectomy without even talking to a therapist first. Like, it's so stupid and dishonest. And oh my God, and people just... Yes, and people just eat that shit up, dude. Ugh!
Remember, we're talking about teenagers here. Is now leading to a lot of regret. New testimonials appear on YouTube almost every week from teens who acknowledge...
There are people who say a thing that we agree with.
What's up? On the internet.
Yes, there are people on the internet who agree with what we're saying. That means everything we're saying is true. So fucking dumb.
That they made a terrible mistake and warn others not to make the same one.
Oh my God. Could you is PragerU going to make these videos because it's like, bro, I acknowledge that I made a terrible mistake by publicly jerking off to My Little Pony. I don't think that was a good idea, and I want to warn everybody else to not make the same mistake or whatever. That's a terrible example. I want to try something else, okay?
You already made a mistake. You clicked on this fucking video.
There you go. And I don't like. Does it mean that I'm correct? Because I'm gonna have a bunch of testimonials of people who say, "Don't watch PragerU. It's absolute bullshit. They straight up fucking lie and misrepresent all of their sources." Dude. Fuck that. Like that's literally the same logic here. Teens who acknowledge that they made a terrible mistake, and this terrible mistake could be watching a PragerU video.
Dude, I'm surprised that like after the British Empire video that they made like 2 years ago, I'm surprised PragerU just hasn't been straight up removed off of YouTube.
I haven't watched that one, but
Because the British Empire video.
I vaguely remember. I think Sean did a review of that video. Am I correct?
Yeah, the video is basically like, it's not as bad, okay? It's not as bad as
right. All PragerU videos are bad. This is just the latest one. Okay, so teens who acknowledge that they made a terrible mistake. We're continuing. We have oh my God. We have whatever. Go.
So how do you protect your daughter from being drawn into this dangerous and growing trend?
Oh, they did it! They did the TransTrender meme! We need to do a bingo card. The next time we watch transphobic shit, we need to have bingo cards. And trend has to be like the free space. You know what I mean? Because it's always coming out.
Dangerous. They like the mask is off. Like they literally call it dangerous.
Yes, for sure. Oh, the mask has been off from the first fucking second. Look, Abigail Schreier, author of The Transgender Craze Seducing Our Daughters. Like, yeah, they were off. they were absolutely mask off from the very fucking beginning.
Oh, I didn't even see that because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I understand. So, how do you protect your daughter from being drawn into
this
dangerous
and
growing trend of publicly jacking off to My Little Pony?
First, limit their exposure to social media as much as you can.
Oh my God!
Wow!
I was right!
Holy shit! They actually did it!
I was right that women, the whole point of this fucking video is that women are so fucking stupid that they don't have agency, they can't make their own decisions, that if they get into contact with somebody on the internet, if they see somebody fucking, I don't know, doing a double backflip while taking a shit and catching their own turd in their hands, then, you know, they're gonna have to do it because women are just so fucking stupid. Like I knew they were gonna go to this fucking point. I knew it. They did it.
Several academic studies have already linked the alarming rates of anxiety and depression to young girls' punishing experience on social media.
It has nothing to do with being transgender. Literally nothing.
Oh my God. Oh my
a place that often makes them feel sad.
True. Weary Kyrian in chat says PragerU is anti-mask. They have always been mask off. I'm pretty sure it's PragerU, the one that said that the BLM riots were, quote, blacks burning down the country. Like, they are so far from mask on. You're absolutely correct.
Sad, unattractive, and alone. Second, oppose the teaching of gender ideology in your kid's school.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
What the fuck does that even mean? The teaching of gender ideology. I have no gender. Based non-binary queen in this video. That's what we're talking about, right?
In California, gender identity education begins.
Royalty. Non-binary royalty. I just fucked all of that up. I said non-binary and then I followed it up with a fucking gendered term. Okay, so non-binary royalty, just to put that out there.
In kindergarten and proceeds through high school.
What is the issue with this? Gender identity. It's so simple. Like, why would you not go to your kids and be like, listen, your gender is your expression of your relation to society, and we have a collection of traits that we have assigned male or a man. We have a collection of traits and behaviors that we call woman, and if you don't fit into either of these categories, sweet. If you fit into this category better than this one, sweet. Like, what's the fucking problem here? Why are we so, like, this goes back to the dick analogy where it was just like, if you even look at a dick while licking your mouth at the same time, then you're fucking gay for life or some shit like that. Why not allow people to explore their gender identity the same way that we now allow people? It's a little better accepted than before, but allow people to explore their sexuality.
Now, we need people to reproduce.
Oh my
Kids'
God.
gender identity is totally independent of their physical sex. And
Based and true. Yes.
Fuck.
That is some fucking PragerU accidentally left type of shit right there. Gender identity is totally independent
Nah,
from
it's
the
dangerous.
physical sex.
It's
Yeah, dangerous, and it's a trend.
It's a problem.
and something that only they can know. Schools
True. Your
can
boyfriend
and
is
should
dangerous.
insist that every child be treated respectfully,
True.
without sowing gender confusion in an entire student population.
Well, I mean, sure. They shouldn't like go out of their way and be like, "Hey, listen, you might actually be a boy. I need you to think very deeply on this." Like when you're like, yeah, when you're like fucking 7 years old or some shit like that, like they just kind of go, "Look, this is boy shit. This is girls shit, right? You know, sometimes it's whatever."
What's funny about this is that like when they're calling it dangerous, it's almost like they're like framing it as in like when they're teaching this in schools and in like colleges and stuff. It's like they're saying that like the instructors will walk up to these people and say, you might not even know like who you are, all right? You need to think about it real close.
What do you have in your pants, Cassandra? What do you have in your pants? Is that a fucking vagina or a penis? We don't know. Like it's just such a waste of fucking time. The point I'm getting at here is that this whole without sowing gender confusion in an entire student population, it's not even that fucking deep. Like like whenever they're talking about. Yeah, they're literally just saying boys and girls. It's literally teaching them about genders, and that's perfectly fine. And it's just like I don't know. Maybe if that's when they're saying shit like gender ideology. There's a reason why they use the word ideology there, and it's because once again they're just using loaded terms to elicit a specific reaction, and that's the whole thing.
Third, and most importantly, remember
God.
that a teenager is still just a teenager.
So if they say, "Hey, I'm kind of confused about my gender," you go, "Ha! You stupid fucking kid! Get the fuck out of here! You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." And then you should, yeah. I love how we went from, oh shit. I love how we went from schools can and should insist that every child be treated respectfully, and then step number 3 is literally,
Third, and most importantly,
you're a fucking kid and we don't have to respect literally anything about you. If you make a request of us, we can shut that shit down and tell you to go fuck yourself. Go eat dirt, you little bitch, or some shit. I know, it's fucking wild, dude.
Like,
remember
what's
that
bad
a
about this
teenager is
that,
still just a teenager.
It reminds me of like the really dumb argument of I got into an argument with somebody about like the Iraq War a couple of weeks ago, and his response, like he rage quit the argument by saying, "Well, you weren't an adult when the Iraq War happened, so you can't talk about it." Like, and then when we talked about the Gulf War, he's like, "Well, you weren't even alive, so you can't talk about it." And I'm like, "Okay, none of us were alive in World War II. Does that mean we can't talk about World War II?"
Yeah, sounds like a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got like 30 seconds left. Let's see if we can trudge on through.
You don't have to agree with every identity proclamation your daughter comes up with.
Oh my fucking god.
No one is saying that you have to agree with it. You just have to be like, there is a way to go about it other than just straight up denying it. There's a better way. If my kid came up to me and was just all like, "Hey, my name isn't Mason anymore. It's Madison, and I'm a girl," it would have been like, "Cool, sweet action. Can I call you Maddie instead?" or something like that. Like, it's not that, I don't know. There's just a whole way to handle it other than just being like, whatever. It's like if a kid, I don't know. It's like if a teenager came up to you and said, "Dad, I think I'm gay," and it's like, "No, you're gonna love vaginas. You're going to love those vaginas. You're gonna love being inside them, the taste of them. You want vaginas now." Like that kind of shit. It would be really fucking unhelpful now, wouldn't it? It'd be a big fucking waste of everybody's time, and it would probably make your kid feel like shit for even bringing it up. Like, I don't know. I feel like you should just support your kids and just be like, "Oh, okay. And if it's literally if they're literally just going, "Yeah, I'm a girl for the memes," or in this case, they're talking about boys, right?
Trenders.
So yeah, if there's the trenders, if they're saying boys, if they're just saying that they're a boy for the memes, like just fucking go along with it for the memes. And if it's just like a whole thing that they're just pretending to do, it will drop eventually. They will literally look back on it and go, wow, that was silly. Well, anyway, and they'll just go back to their regular lives, but at least let them have the chance to explore it. I just don't see that as too much to ask, really.
Knowledge of her identity will develop over time. Until then, being the adult in the relationship is the most loving thing you can do. I'm Abigail.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So what I'm trying to say is that they're lying whenever they say that like children are getting double mastectomies and getting fucking their arm flesh like shaved off so they can get it turned into a penis, or any of these things, or they're getting like, you know, testicles stapled to their butthole. This is not happening. These are not happening to children, okay? Like, no, I just don't believe that there's any doctor on the planet that is going to go behind the backs of parents. Because just think about, like, you'd have to jeopardize your medical license. You'd have to jeopardize so fucking much to go behind the backs of parents to be like,
staple a penis on somebody, you know?
Right, and fucking use a nail, like grab you a nail gun and fucking, yeah, nail testicles to someone's asshole. Like, that's so fucking stupid. Ugh. Anyway, that was a nightmare, and I'm glad we've gotten through it. Wait, she's reading her ending card. Hang on.
Is now leading to a lot of regret.
Oh, I fucking skipped back in the video. I was sitting here going, I looked down and I thought we had more than a minute left, and I was about to kill myself.
Wait, okay.